Hi everyone, this is going to be a video for the sign of Cancer, so I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. Sorry, I didn't like how dusty that was over there. Okay, let me see what we got. Cancer. Definitely some anxiety. You guys, okay. Restless. A lot of restlessness going on. Like, my dog is very responsive to energy, and I think it's just funny because he was completely content literally 5 minutes ago. And then as soon as I got on here to do your video, he got very restless and is very, not in distress, but just, anxious. Like, there's something anxious going on here. It could be some changes that are coming your way. A new mindset, a shift. Could also be connected with somebody around you. I'm also picking up a lot on a shift in your energy. I just got the hiccups and now they're gone. Could be communicating something. I'm actually just seeing literally a crab, but burying itself in the sand. There's something about the water, being near the water, putting your feet in the sand. Yeah. I haven't cut my deck like that in a long time. You guys are definitely dealing with some type of foundation. You guys are processing something. You're wondering why something has to happen the way that it needs to. You're either questioning why it's happening the way that it's happening or why it needs to happen the way that it's happening. You guys are definitely in some type of a reflection, in some type of a curiosity. There's something very curious here, but there's also a seeming there's a lack of focus on something, and then there's also a feeling of lack of direction. So I don't know if you guys feel like you're stuck in a situation or if you're trapped in a situation. Make sure you're not isolating yourself too much when it comes to your emotions. Make sure that you're communicating, that you're reaching out to friends, that you're reaching out to family, whoever you can trust. Try not to let your emotions get the best of you. But there's something that you're not seeing either. You have all the tools that are necessary to go towards something, but there's something that's keeping you emotionally blocked, and it's kind of making you just want to just give up. It's a give up type of energy, and I hate picking up on that, but there's also something very positive here because it's an opportunity for growth. And this opportunity for growth, you might not understand why it's happening the way that it's happening, but in reality, you're actually being guided towards a situation. You're being guided away from something that no longer serves you, or you're being guided towards something that's for your benefit, for your highest good. You could be in a flip-flop type of mindset. There could be a group of people in Cancerian energy who are questioning why everything's happening. Why is this happening? Why, what is happening? Why is this happening? Why did this have to happen to me? Why is this going on? There's something very, wow, my candle's never done that before. I'm gonna spin it around so I can see it because my flame is just doing something really crazy I've never seen do before. I think it's very chaotic. There's something very chaotic here. It's a burst of energy, but it's also attitude. So you might be experiencing I don't want to say conflict with somebody, but like you might be getting like somebody's attitude thrown at you and you're like, whoa, excuse me? Like, where did that come from? Or whatever it is that you're dealing with kind of stems from that situation of like, okay, I don't know how to deal with this person because I don't like their attitude. Like, I don't like the way that this person's choosing to handle this. So there's something very like sassy, very fiery about the situation that kind of flares a lot of emotions that you might have, like, I don't want to say repressed, but it's emotions that are very deep within you that are being triggered and pulled up to the surface. And the surface part of you isn't really understanding how to handle those emotions, or not that you're not understanding how to handle them, but maybe not knowing how to place them, not knowing how to transmute them, like kind of getting stuck, like feeling isolated in your own emotions and just being like, why? Like, why is this unfolding the way that it's unfolding? Why am I experiencing this? Like, why did I have to go through this? Like, it's a lot of questioning, and it's a lot of like, I don't want to say hopelessness, but that is the word that just came to me, was hopelessness, and like feeling in despair emotionally. So if you guys are feeling that, I'm sorry. It's very hard. Let me see what's on the bottom of the deck. Unfinished Symphony. Wow. Yeah, you guys are at a major completion. Major completion. If you guys are in the arts at all, like when it comes to music, poetry, even arts, like as in painting and drawing and stuff, like that might be some type of an outlet for you at this current moment in time. But you might be experiencing like a creative block because you're sitting on whatever this is. Like, you're sitting on it and you're just like, I don't know what to do with it. And because you're sitting on it, that's creating a block. So it's blocking something. And it might be an expression of like creativity, or it might just be communication. But there's something unfinished about the scenario. Even though this is a 10 here, there's not peace. I know, sorry, it's a little bit shadowy where I'm at right now. Let me see if turning that on would help. It helped a little bit, but I don't want to. Yeah, there we go. Sorry about that. Here's the previous card, because it was a little dark. But, and then there's this one, Unfinished Symphony. So you're in your head a lot about something, you're thinking about something, whatever it is that's keeping you in your head, that's keeping you feeling like you're out at sea by yourself. Like, it's a moment, it's a moment for transformation. It's an experience for transformation. It's actually going to benefit you more than you think, because you're going to be pushed into something that's going to be an opportunity for growth. And I feel like that's the second time that I've said that, because it's not so much about like why something is happening the way that it is, but I definitely feel like it has to do with your foundation or some type of structure that you've established. And whatever structure it is that you've established, that you've found this foundation on, like something about it is changing. It's causing you to feel very highly emotional, or very like in distress is really what I'm trying to say, is like very in distress. But the situation might not always have an answer why. It just is. And I know that that's kind of a tough one to sit with, but it's true, because a lot of times we don't always understand why things happen the way that they happen. It's just we need to hang on for the ride, you know what I mean, and make the best out of the situation, despite how intense it might be. And that's not being dismissive. It's really looking at it from a different perspective, because again, like, as much as we can sit and we can harbor these heavy and negative emotions, like, it takes a toll on our physical body to do that. So when we harbor those negative emotions, we're actually making ourselves sick, because we're allowing it to live, and we're breathing energy into that, because we all have energy spaces around us, energy bodies, auras, whatever you want to call them. And as we allow these heavy emotions to sit, and we don't transmute them properly through expression, or through writing, or through actually communicating with somebody, or just finding peace within our heart space, like learning how to work with those spaces, like your belly, your heart, and your third eye are like the three most important ones for me. And I know that a lot of people would argue differently because of all the chakras and stuff, but there's actually a lot more chakras than what most people are aware of when it comes to our bodies. Like, we have a lot more centers that need to be worked on. And like, I'm trying to like put this into words, because when we allow these things to sit and to create a blockage, sometimes we don't even know it. That's the thing, is that sometimes we will repress emotions, or we won't identify with an emotion because it's too hard for us to identify. And when we do that, we're actually, it's not making it go away, it's actually becoming embedded into our energy body, which then creates exhaustion, fatigue, sleeplessness, anxiety, depression, negative thought, like negative self-talk, negative thought loops. Like, all of it manifests and all of it creates a life of its own. And when it becomes so overwhelming, it's time to just clear that space. You see what I'm saying? It's time to declutter the energy body. So maybe there is a focus for you on decluttering your energy field and learning how to work with your own energy, learning how to open your center so that you can release, and then bringing in love, bringing in light, bringing in whatever you resonate with that brings you happiness and peace is really what it comes down to. Even just laying outside on the ground. I know it's crazy, but just like laying on your stomach in the ground in a grassy area where you can just let it go into the earth. Like, that's one of the most powerful things that you can do, is to actually release it into the earth and allow the earth to mulch it. You see what I'm saying? And that might be a little bit hard to understand, but I was taught with a background of shamanism, and that is how I learned. That worked for me. Now, what works for me isn't always going to work for anybody else, because there's so many teachings that are so wonderful and that are so helpful that it's really important to do your own research and to find what resonates for you. I can only go off of what I experienced, what I know, what I've been taught, and for me, just really giving it back to the earth, but also sending it with love is so important, because we are beings that are living on the earth, and we need to take care of it. We need to take care of ourselves. And as we take care of ourselves, it radiates around us. You see what I'm saying? It radiates. And I just kind of went off on a tangent, but I felt like that was important. Maybe you're exploring a new realm of healing. You might be exploring something new. You might be learning about something new. Maybe you're getting into astrology. Maybe you're studying shamanism. Maybe you're studying Reiki. Maybe you're studying Taoism. Maybe you're studying Tai Chi. Whatever it might be, it's like a new area that you might be expanding into in order to process these emotions. And by doing this, you're actually helping yourself get on your own path. Like, you're helping yourself get back on the right route. I just said that kind of weird. I meant to say root, but it kind of came out weird. Like a root as in R-O-U-T-E, whatever. Like, whatever. I don't know where I was going with that, but, woo! My brain right now. You need to find peace, though, is really what it comes down to, because you might have a reluctancy, because whatever foundation it is that's being crumbled, it's an initiation process for a new life. And I hate to put it like that, because, like, an initiation process, like, what? It's like a shedding of your own self to step into the new you. It's like dying to your old self, is really what it comes down to. It's like you're dying to the person who you used to be, who you once were, who in the past maybe that was what was created for you, that was the conditionings that you were brought up in, but it's like all of that stuff is now being removed, and you're shedding all that skin, you're shedding those layers. Again, I keep saying, like, dying to your old self. Like, you're becoming someone new, but you're becoming you. You see what I'm saying? Like, you're actually stepping into the power of you, which is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Something a little bit resistant, though. I keep picking up on that. It's a little bit of resistance. Not too bad, though. There's also, like, an aspect of, like, going into, like, the upper realms, like, the upper world. It's healing. A lot of healing that's going on. Like, this is, like, you're going from chaos straight into healing. But see, there's not, like, much happiness surrounding it, but that's because of what is going on. And it's not to say that you're not going to find happiness, because you will find happiness, because you're going to actually find something new to nurture. You're going to find something maybe that you started in the past that you never got to finish, but now is like you figured it out, where you're like, I'm going to finish this. I'm going to do this. But you're moving away from chaos and questions and not knowing the answer why, not understanding why things are happening the way that they're happening. Like, you're just going forward. You've achieved something, like you've accomplished something as well. And it could be like a new area of study, but don't question yourself too much. Just go with it. Like, if you feel pulled to look into it, go to it, you know? But obviously make sure that you're linking up with good people in the community who can teach you stuff too. Because as much as it is good to like read on your own and do your own research, it's also good to meet people in that community who you can talk to, who can teach you things, especially if you're studying something new. Like make sure you're working with the right people when it comes to whatever it is that you're working on, because it's very important. Like, you don't want to just do things by yourself. You know what I mean? Like, you can read about things all you want, like, by yourself, but make sure that you're reaching out to the community that works with it. I think that's very, very important. Sorry, I wanted to make sure that wasn't like a serious message, because it just kind of caught me off guard. You might be getting a message from somebody, because you might be waiting for a message from somebody, to be completely honest with you, and it might catch you off guard. But there's like an urgency to it, where like I thought that was something wrong. Like, I thought there was something wrong. That's why I felt like I had to check my phone. So that might be a symbol, or like symbolic to someone who hears this video, because it's like something catches you off guard, or maybe you think something's wrong, or maybe you're waiting to hear back from somebody. It's like you're going to hear back from somebody. I'm not sure what that means. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I think I shuffled all my cards upside down. Wow, I'm getting like multiple messages here. Okay, so you are getting yourself out of a situation. That's for sure. You're leaving something in the past. You're getting yourself out of a situation. You might not know exactly what you're doing or how you're doing it. There's definitely some emotional distress in the process of it. It might be something that has given you anxiety in the past when it comes to just moving forward in general. Whatever it is, there's big changes that are happening. But there's something that's keeping you stuck, but it's not something that is impossible to overcome. Because if you look at this card, she has like vines wrapped around her, and that's all that's keeping her stuck. Like, she could easily break away and like move out of that vine. Like, you could easily break that off of you to like become unstuck. So there's something that's it's keeping you stuck in your mind by making you ask questions. It's just keeping you feeling trapped. It's a feeling of entrapment. And there's a strategy involved on how to get out of it. What direction do I want to go? Mind, body, spirit. It's listening to your spirit, listening to your soul, listening to the wisdom that your soul carries. Because believe it or not, your soul actually has all the information that you need to know. Like, and I'm not trying to be a smart ass. Like, I'm really saying that. Like, you like trust yourself, trust your intuition, because it's very important. Hey, King, what are you doing? Yeah, there's something very important that you're going to have to think about. It's like you're trying to figure out a way out of something, a way out of a mindset, a way out of a situation. You're going to be victorious over it, though, but you might not see it that way. You have 10-10 on the board, too, so I think that's very significant. You might be seeing 10-10 a lot. I'm not actually picking up on a whole lot of other energies other than maybe like family and friends, because I'm not picking up on like anything love related right now. This is more like environmental, like people around you, like friends, family. Sorry, my dog's itching. His collar's really loud. You get it? Did you get it? Yeah, good boy. He's so handsome. We were just outside doing a bunch of stuff, so he's exhausted. He loves going outside. Yeah, maybe even getting outside and just doing things that you don't typically do will help you unblock some energy, and it'll help you like open things up a little bit more. And I am sorry that if on the camera you can pick up on him like breathing in the background. I just think it's like really funny, and I don't even think about it. So I'm like, I'm sorry if that's like obnoxious to anybody, but you know. I did see 2020 on the clock too. I thought that was significant because I was just talking about 1010 and then it went to 2020. You are going to be victorious over whatever it is. Whatever strategy you come up with to get yourself out of the situation, you're going to be victorious because you're going to find a place of peace. Yeah, because you're at the end of a cycle. This is also dealing a lot with your emotions. Like this gold and this blue that I'm picking up on is very healing. Very healing colors. Those colors might be very significant to you. It's like a blue and a gold. But you're going to be victorious over it, and you're going to be able to transmute this energy fairly well. You're going to see something for what it is. You're also being assisted by your guides. Because whenever I see these cards, these always talk to me about like having your guides around, having your ancestors around who are helping you in the process of doing this. Door to value, the thinking man, door to personal happiness. Right as I said, I didn't pick up on anything in a relationship. Look who comes around. So that's significant actually, because you might be going through this, and then as you go through this, somebody kind of comes and makes an offer to you, or this is you simply taking action, stepping into and embracing your masculine energy to accomplish something, especially sitting over the strategy card and the victory card. This could be just you taking action. This could be you stepping into that masculine strength that we all have, and really buckling down and getting things done. Thinking about things, finding a strategy, figuring it out. Like, you see something clear. You're stepping into it. You have the door to personal healing and happiness and the door to value on both sides. So you see something as valuable, whatever it might be. It's like something in the past gets broken down for something new to be rebuilt that you see value in. And then you actually have another 10. So you have 10, 10, 10. That's interesting. That's very interesting. You see happiness somewhere. It's like you're seeing the good in a situation. You're being victorious over it. That, or you're manifesting something into your life, or you're bringing something into your life. You're using your mind's eye to visualize, which is very powerful, but you're holding that that picture that you want. You're holding that vision in your in you. You're holding this vision, and by holding this vision, it's actually helping you move forward. And I hope that I didn't just stutter over that too much, but it's just kind of the way it's coming out right now. Let me look at the bottom of the... Oh wow, you have the happy family card at the bottom of the deck. This definitely has to do with the foundation at that point, and it is very distressing to you, believe it or not, because you're picking up on something. It's like you're losing another structure, but you're gaining a new one. Come here. It's okay. What's wrong? Are you mad because he's sitting on the bed and you're not? You can fit. You can fit up there. Yeah, see, like, my dog is so responsive to energy. He really is. It's like a focus right now on just something very... It's distressing to you. And it might actually have to do with your family. Yeah, with the World card right underneath. Whew. Something's definitely getting wrapped up when it comes to somebody's home life. like I could even be connecting with somebody who's like in college or high school or middle school, whatever the case may be. Obviously, these videos reach whoever they're supposed to reach, so I don't, I don't say age specific for the most part. Maybe not middle school though, maybe more like high school, or maybe you have younger siblings, who knows, right? But this could be just you in a dynamic with your family, and like, your parents splitting up, or like you're trying to find like stability through this, or even you're the person in the relationship and you're separating from somebody. Like, this could be your child's perspective on it, like, or it could be your perspective on it. Like, it's not always about love in a relationship. Like, this is more, I cannot emphasize that enough. Like, it's not always about love and relationships, like relationships of all kind. Like, this is a family situation where a foundation that you've grown very comfortable in is completely changing, and through that change is going to be something very victorious and very positive, but there's something that you're in the process of like thinking about, like you're questioning something, you're trying to get yourself out of it, whether it be even just dealing with your emotions or coming up with an exit plan where it's like, okay, I'm not going to participate in this anymore. Like, okay, now it's time for me to move out. Now it's time for me to do this. Like, you're taking that next step in your life, and it might have come a little bit sooner than what you thought, or maybe you didn't see something the way that it was in the past. It's like being unveiled, like something being unveiled that was from the past that created an illusion. This illusion was like this, stable platform where you're like, oh, this is my comfortable life, blah, blah, blah. But then something got flipped upside down, and it's like, oh my gosh, like this isn't actually what I thought it was. I need to come up with a better plan for myself so that I can take the next steps in my life. Like, I can't sit in this position forever. Or maybe you're just hitting that point where you're like, okay, like I want to go away to college, but I'm afraid to leave my family because it's, I'm comfortable here and it's a new environment, and I'm going to have to learn how to like, come up with a new lifestyle, a new routine. And it's taking that step and taking that next step confidently, where you might have some sad emotions because it's like you don't want to leave something in the past, but there's something very positive. There's a lot of growth that comes out of this, believe it or not. It might not feel that way, but there is a lot of growth. Regs, easy, honey. Easy, babe. You're so cute. King, what are you doing? You're making a noise. I don't know what that is. Like, he's usually not like this during readings, but he's just really responsive to this energy right now. And he's like up and down and just itching himself and doing all kinds of stuff that he doesn't typically do. You okay? It's okay. You're okay. Anyway. Yeah, I just got like really like lost in my own thoughts for a second. And what I was thinking about was for some reason I was like, what am I going to do with my dogs? I don't know, like maybe you have kids or maybe you have pets and you're like, what am I supposed to do now? Oh, jeez. I have like the worst hat hair. I hope nobody saw that. See, I looked at that card and I knew it wanted to come out, but you're the Lovers card. It's a decision. It's not always about lovers, right? Theoretically, it's not always about lovers. This card is very much well about personal decision making when it comes to relationships and people. And it's a decision that you have to make. And I'm getting like a feeling of just being very annoyed. And it's like, I don't want to make this decision. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to deal with it. Now let me look at this from a relationship standpoint, because I do see it here. If you are connecting with somebody in a romantic sense, somebody's moving forward from their why phase. Like, why does something happen the way it is? It's like somebody was like kind of like in their 5 of Cups energy of being like, why this, why that, why do I have to do this, why do I have to do that, why can't it be my way, why can't it be anybody else's way? It's like kind of like that poor attitude, like, and I'm not saying that against anybody, because believe me, I've had my moments, don't get me wrong, but there's definitely a sense of leaving that in the past and somebody realizing that they need to take action because they know what they want. And I do see this person being very successful at it because they see value in a situation. It's like they want to offer something stable. They want to offer something reliable that's valuable. And this person's ultimate goal is to just find healing and happiness. And yeah, it's victorious. Like, this person's like thinking about like, okay, you could have somebody who's making a decision between love or money. It's like, love or money, what is it? You know, like, do I want love? Do I want money? What do I want to invest my time into? But see, for the most part, I keep going back to that original storyline of, you know, just going through a big transformation within the household. So you have the Lovers. Could be connecting with a fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or a Gemini. And no, I don't associate this as a fire sign. I just got immediately pulled to the fire in this card. And then the Page of Wands came out. So I take that into consideration. So you could definitely be connecting with somebody with strong Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is somebody who could be in and out, if I want to look at this from a relationship standpoint. But it's like a strategy. Now, going back to the original storyline, this is you taking action quickly. It's like you're making a decision and you're sticking to it. And you're like, this is what I need to go after. I need to find that passion. I need to get that spark back. This is getting that spark back to, like, not be afraid to do something, not be afraid to take a leap of faith, not be afraid to go after something passionately. It's like you're like, okay, I got to go after what it is that I want to go after because, yeah, 10 of Pentacles. You're like, I need to start building my own foundation because honestly, like, it's hard to explain, but like when we as human beings, like, we like to have other people around us, but we forget how important it is to find peace within ourselves. And you're not always going to find that with another person. Like, you got to find peace within yourself before you can venture out into like the relationship department. And some people might disagree with me, but hey, it's my opinion, right? This is finding stability, finding happiness, building a solid foundation. I almost just fell off my chair. This is building a solid foundation. Now, I don't take cards off the floor, but 8 of Pentacles. Investing your time into something. Investing into a career. Investing into where you want to go in your life. Taking action towards it and succeeding. It just kind of fell. Yeah, notice how my dogs calm down now? Like, they're totally calm. They're like sleeping. And they were like freaking out not that long ago. But there's a calm. Like, you might be in distress, but you're going to be calmed. You're going to relax. You're going to find that peace. You're going to find that stability. It's just a big decision that you have to make to take action towards something. Because the Page of Wands is a go-getter. Like, this is somebody who goes and gets it, who isn't afraid to take action to go after something that they want. And it's like, you might be coming in as the Page of Wands. Like, you might actually be in fire energy going after what it is that you want to build a foundation with. You might actually be connecting with another person who's going to help you build this foundation. Like, they're going to help you. And I feel like whoever it is that you're connecting with, in the end, they're gonna help you build this foundation, and you guys are gonna find peace and happiness together. Now, if you're, not dating anybody and you're completely single, this is you taking action for yourself. Like, this is you, like, going after it and just being like, this is what I want. Yeah, there's something creative. It sparks your passion. You're going to get that fire for life back. If you've been feeling really dull and depleted, like, you're going to get that passion back. It's just a matter of time. You just got to have patience and just keep taking care of yourself in the process of it, and make sure that you're really shifting that energy around within you, because honestly, like, when we hold on to things, sometimes we don't even know that we're holding on to it, and it could be completely subconscious. And that's the stuff that really gets us down, because we don't know where it's coming from. We don't know how it happened or where it came from or why it's happening the way that it's happening. And sometimes we don't always have an answer. Like, it just is. And it's learning how to be what's the word I'm looking for? It's learning how to adapt and be resilient. I just had something pop up where you could have had a disagreement with somebody and with their differences of opinions, but it's like you're learning to stand strong in your own opinion and to not be afraid of what other people think, because regardless of what your opinion is, it's like everybody's entitled to have their own opinion, and it might not be the most popular opinion with some people, but even though somebody might try to change your mind or like convince you otherwise, like, as long as you are happy with yourself in the end, like, if that's your feelings, like, then nobody can invalidate that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a sense of, like, somebody not validating your feelings, and, like, to be completely honest, like, that is really detrimental, because when you don't hear somebody else, like, when you don't give somebody space and hold space for them to be themselves and to have feelings like we all have, like, it actually really kind of damages the relationship, because that person doesn't feel safe to feel validated. They don't feel like you hear them. They don't feel like, they can be themselves. And if you're dealing with somebody like that, just know that you're in the process of becoming stronger so that it doesn't hurt you so deeply, because I do get a sense that there's, like, somebody trying to express themselves and then another person being like, no, I disagree with you entirely, and just shutting them down. And when that happens, it's actually like a trauma, because it shuts you down. Like, you don't feel safe. I feel like if you're dealing with somebody like that, you're learning how to become more resilient in knowing what is your truth. Like, standing strong in your truth. Even though somebody might disagree with you, it's your truth. See what I'm saying? Somebody could come in with an apology, or somebody could come in with, like, some type of an offer of, like, emotion. Because somebody wants to offer something. And you're back. I see you. Hey, buddy. You were just sleeping. What happened? And see, that energy that I just felt was, like, very, very intense and, like, distressing. The part, like, where I was just talking about somebody not validating your truth or validating how you feel, or at least holding space for you to have an opinion. Like, that energy was, like, very, like, very intense. And, like, it seriously, like, my dog responded to it, because he's like, whoa, what is this energy right now? Like, let's clear this out. Let's clear this out. Let's clear this out. Clear this out. Because we don't need that type of energy. Seriously. And if somebody is doing that to you, then just know that you're going to become stronger. Like, you're going to build a resiliency where you're just like, you know what? Fuck you then. Or, you know what I mean? Like, or at least in a nicer way, say that. You know? Like, because I honestly, like, that's probably what I would say. Because it's kind of like, wow. Like, what do you mean I'm wrong? Like, I'm not wrong for having feelings. Like, what? But no, somebody could be coming in with an offer. It's a victorious offer. Like, somebody, like, definitely sees something positive. Are you okay? I know we were just outside running. It is a little bit hot in here, but why don't you lay down? Lay down. Get in bed. Ooh, I just caught that with my finger. So you have the Ace of Wands. That's interesting. Yeah, I really definitely feel like there's somebody getting their passion for life back. Like I said, like if you are feeling or have been feeling very dull and very like kind of like depleted, like you're going to get that passion back. It's going to come because you have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. I almost said swords, and I think you're going to get some type of clarity that's going to bring this back for you. It's some type of clarity. But something's going to be very victorious and very successful. Because this is something that can make you happy. And it's either an offer, like somebody might even be communicating something to you to work with you on something. And this person, like they want to offer emotion and passion. And it's like an epiphany moment where it's like, the missing link. I don't know what that means, but it's like the missing link. Like, what? It's kind of confusing. I feel like whatever it is like a wish fulfillment you've been waiting for. It's like you've been feeling like lost at sea, and then this person comes out and they're like, I'll paddle you to shore. And I hate to say it like that because I would never promote somebody being like, oh, let me rely on this person. Like, no, but it's like somebody coming to help you. So we have Justice and the Eight of Wands. This is communication. You could be connecting with somebody who has a lot of passion. And this person's coming in to kind of like offer some type of help, offer some type of assistance. This could even just be a friend. This could be a coworker. This could be a therapist even. This usually typically isn't my therapist combo, but this could be somebody who just gives you that inspiration, that spark. Somebody who like breathes that life back into you. Because there was definitely a little bit of a disconnect. Especially with the old foundation thing being shaken up. It's like, oh gosh, where do I go now? But then something comes in and you're like, oh, that's it. This is it. Now, you could also be connecting with somebody who's been in and out of your life, but they're coming back in. Some type of communication. I don't know what that means. I don't even know if that's a word, to be completely honest with you. Communication is going to take place because this person, they're coming in as a page, but they want the Ten of Cups. And they're trying to figure out a way, like, how do I get to this Ten of Cups? Like, how do I do this? But see, they have Justice on their side. So a decision's been made. Maybe in their favor. Or maybe they made a decision. Because now I'm picking up on another energy. But I'm also still picking up on the other energy who's just going through a lot of changes. And again, I've been picking up on an energy of you not seeing something coming. And for a couple of the signs now. And I wonder, Queen of Wands. Interesting. Intuitively, you might know what this is. Or you might see it coming. But you could have an offer from a fire sign and a water sign. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what their sun signs are. This is the energy that they're coming in as. You have a Page of Wands, somebody who could be like a player, like in and out of your life all the time. Like, just kind of hits you up when they're drunk. Hits you up when they're with their boys or with their girls. And like, hey, how you doing? And you're like, why don't you talk to me any other time? Like, it's kind of like like, I don't know, like, you definitely would know these people. But it's like, who do you see a foundation with? Or what do you see a foundation with? Or what is your vision of a foundation? Because you also have this water sign that's coming in, or somebody who's coming in water energy. And it's like, they're coming in as like, knight in shining armor. Because they're the Knight of Cups. But it could be an apology too. And this could be the same person who, in the past could have been very in and out. But then they want to come in with an apology and be like, hey, yada, yada, yada. Because you have the Ace of Wands here. So it's like something very sudden about it. And then you have door to personal healing and happiness. So I feel like you're really going to have to use your intuition about if this is another person or not, because this all very much well just could be you. And it could be you just going through like what you're going through, finding your foundation, taking action towards it, finding something creative, finding that passion in life, getting that spiritual insight, having that, sparks of, it's like your intuition's on fire. You see something. It's like you see what foundation you want to create. You're envisioning it, you're seeing it, you're getting the insight, you're getting spiritual messages from it. And something's balancing out. Like you could be dealing with old karma or some type of karmic cycle coming to an end, something very toxic coming to an end too. Then you have the Six of Cups, which brings me back to another person. It's like, do I want to invest in this situation or do I not want to invest in the situation? But it's like somebody's been waiting to hear something, waiting to hear back, waiting to connect. Took you long enough. I don't know what that means. It's like it took you long enough. It took you long enough. I don't know what that means. Somebody could be coming to see you, like visiting you, and it's just like, whoa, like, when did you show up? Like, it's kind of weird. Oh, I need to wrap this up. We're already at 45 minutes. 46 minutes. Yeah, there's an emotional decision that needs to be made. You have to clear away what no longer serves you, because you have the Ten of Wands with the Two of Swords. This is like clear as day, a decision that needs to be made to lay the weight down. You're carrying something that you don't need to carry, but it's like you do see the end of it. It's just you don't want to make a decision on something. You don't want to look at something right now. You don't want to acknowledge something, and that's okay. But eventually you're going to have to. Eventually you're going to have to acknowledge whatever it is, because whatever it is weighing you down. It's keeping you stagnant. But there's a decision that you're going to have to make to take action, to go after something. Or you're going to have to make a decision about people. Who do I want to invest my time into, if not neither of them? Because you might not want to invest your time in either of them. Because nobody's coming in as like a king or anything like that. Like you have the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands attracts a lot of people to her. So just keep that in mind. Because, and just because I said her doesn't mean anything. It's Queen of Wands. You could be a guy and you could be in the Queen of Wands energy, and it just means that you have a lot of people around you who are attracted to you, who are trying to get your attention, because, the Queen of Wands, like, a lot of people usually, are attracted to the Queen of Wands. Like, she's fiery, she's feisty, she's passionate, she's going after what she wants. Very intuitive, very connected, very passionate, very on top of her game when it comes to, like, herself. She looks good. Like, or he looks good, and you have like two people coming towards you, and it's like, is this really what you want? But if you're not connecting with anybody at all, this is all about you, and this is you finding that. Please stop. No doing that. That's gross. Not in here. I'm sorry, but you can lick yourself outside of my room, not on camera, please. Like, I'm so sorry, it's embarrassing. Just made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, if you're not connecting with anybody, then this is about you, and this is your decision to lay the weight down and to take action towards building your own foundation, building what it is that you want your future to look like, which is very powerful. So I hope that these messages helped. I wish you all the best, and I look forward to connecting with all of you guys in the future. Take care.